Hi Rakshit, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. What about you?
I'm good too, thank you. So can you tell us something about yourself?
Yes. My name is Rakshit. I've basically done B in mechanical engineering in the year of 2017.
Hmm.
And after that, for some years, I've prepared for the government exam. Right now, I'm switching. After that, I've switched into IT industry. And I have 2.5 years of experience in the manual testing.
Hmm.
And I worked as a manual test engineer and wrote the test cases, reviewing the test cases and defect tracking, etc. And also worked using a tool. I used tools like HPLM tool and test-rail tool, etc. And I've involved in the two projects, that is on job opportunity and the healthcare system. And we have used agile methodology there. This is a brief introduction about me.
Okay, great, great. So, uh, what do you know about the difference between test case and test scenario?
Test scenario is a high level scenario,
Hmm.
and test cases tells how to conduct the implement the test scenario. For example, if, test scenario may be to check the functionality of the login module,
Hmm.
and in test cases we check how it working, how it working with the both positive and negative test cases. For
Hmm.
example, if we take the example of component of username component, and scenario says we just need to verify the functioning of the uh, username component. But in that using the test cases, we actually check it like by putting the positive and negative test cases, and
Hmm.
by giving the uh, data more than the its limitation. Like a requirement might be there that only 10 characters should be inserted. So we'll put the negative cases like giving the 10 of more than 10 characters. So this is how we do, how we implement, how we check the scenario
Hmm.
using the test case.
Okay, okay, fine. So test cases are nothing but it's a detailed level of steps that you will have. And test
Yeah,
scenarios are high level scenarios, what all things you will be testing. Okay, now let us
yeah,
start with scenario based questions. So let's
yeah,
say if you have an application to be tested, okay, and in
yeah.
that you have to test a button in an application. You don't have to test an application, sorry, you have to test a button in an application which is enabled
Okay,
only for 5 minutes a day. So how would you do
okay.
that? Hmm.
Oh, 5 minutes a day in the sense any like at
Hmm.
any times, like it may be in the morning, in the afternoon, any time.
Yeah,
Five
yeah,
only 5 minutes.
correct, correct.
Okay. First we can check when it is enabled. Like within the 5 minutes, we'll check whether it's working on that 5 minutes,
Hmm.
and we can also go for negative testing. Maybe we can check whether it's working beyond 5 minutes, and
Yeah, yeah.
we
So
can
you
check.
can, yeah, you can go for negative testing, but how will you test the button? It is enabled for only 5 minutes, right? So I'll give you
Yeah.
some key points here. So maybe you can come up with the time or the schedule when it has been enabled. I think you were going in the right direction about checking whether it's a morning, afternoon, or evening, at what time it would be
Okay.
enabled, right?
Yeah.
And then and then you will have your test scenarios, test cases ready. As soon as the button is enabled, you would be testing all those things. And what you can also do is you can connect with the development team and you can ask them to provide you a mock button which has a similar kind of a functionality which the this button will have, and you can test it for entire day.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Okay.
know, they would have done unit testing, they would have created a kind of this kind of button, right? It is not necessary that you have to just test on this button only, because you won't be able to complete your testing at 5 minutes. Yes, you can do smoke testing for this button in 5 minutes, high level, but in detail level of
Mhm.
testing, you would need some kind of um, mock or some kind of a similar kind of a button or utility, you can say, that the developer team might provide you, and you can focus on that,
Yeah.
right? So that's how you can deal with such questions. There is no harm in asking for help from the development team.
Yeah.
Hmm. Now let's go to the next scenario-based question. So this is a function. It has got grade, so obtained marks and total marks, right? If anyone is
Yeah.
scoring 0% to 40%, he or she is given D grade. If anyone is
Yeah.
scoring 41 to 60%, it is showing C grade, right? And similarly, you have B and A grade. Now your grading calculation would be done in this way, right? So whatever grade you have in your marks received divided by total marks into 100, so that will accomplish
This.
how much students scored the grade, right? Now you have to
Yeah.
generate the test data. How will you test the below functionality, or how will you test the below method function, right? So consider this as a kind of a result generation kind of an application or software in which you will input obtain marks, total marks, and it will generate the grades.
Yeah. Okay.
Grading system, yeah. So what would be
Okay.
the test data? Hmm.
We can consider like uh, here we can also go for this one, um, Pressman rules and boundary value analysis. We can go for that.
Correct,
For
correct.
for example, we have to give the mark of 0 and mark of 100, and also equivalent value partition, that is 0 to 20, I think 0 to 40% and 40 to 60. We can divide into equivalent values, marks into various parts, equivalent parts, 0 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, and 80 to again 100. And we can also give the like invalid input, like negative value also we can give, and
Hmm.
positive value also we can give. So
Correct.
this can be done. And
Yes. Okay. Anything else you would like to add?
apart from that,
That's it. Okay, fine. Let me
yes,
show
sir.
you the answer. Okay, see. So this is the answer. Let me draw this line. Okay. Now, what kind of values can be inputted? Okay, here I was telling you about the grades, right?
Yeah,
But I did not mention about the values. Can you enter in string format? Can you enter them in integer? Can you enter them in float characters?
okay.
Float data type, right? So
Yeah,
so whenever you get this kind of question, you have to ask more and more on the requirements, right? So you
yeah,
can request, sir or ma'am, can you please help me with more requirements into this? Can you please add some more details into this, right? So it's a kind of a discussion.
yeah,
And this thing you were correct, boundary conditions, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Then negative conditions, marks obtained, total marks is equal to 0. So we'll get divide by 0 exception. So what is the
yeah,
output you are getting? Invalid conditions. What if the marks obtained someone is telling 110? What if they are passing
yeah,
alphanumeric or special characters? How will this function handle it, right? How would
yeah,
this function take it up? Is it handling the error gracefully, right? Then all the possible combinations of a number, negative value, 0, positive values, all those things you can take, right? Okay. Okay, now let's go to the next scenario. Okay, so if you are able to find the bug in production environment, but you are not getting in the
okay.
test build, so how will you test it so the bug is found in the test build?
Okay, that means this that is application perfectly fine when we test it, but
Mm,
when it is moved into production,
mm,
that is we are finding the bug
mm.
that is working not working properly. What's your saying, sir?
Right, right. So earlier, the client or customer has found a bug in production environment. Okay,
Yeah,
and you were not able to find in the test build earlier. right?
Okay.
So let's say you did the testing in test environment, you
Hmm.
provided them sign of green signal.
Okay.
Okay, now it is there in the production environment, that functionality. And now client has found a bug
Okay.
defect. Okay, so now what will you do? How will you test it so the bug is found in the test build as well?
Okay. Maybe he's using the different environment. Maybe there will be compatibility issue might be there, or
So he's,
there might be some.
yeah, he's using production environment. He's using production environment.
Okay.
Hmm. You cannot perform testing on production environment. He is raising the tickets, he's raising the defects to you. You need to do testing in test environment.
I will take that any bugs, and I will look into the discuss with the developers also regarding this one,
Hmm,
and about what kind of defect is that, and
hmm,
I will also like see is there any like software issue like antivirus software, something kind of
hmm,
things
hmm,
is
hmm.
there.
Right. Okay, so you will test, you will check if the bug is being caught because of the antivirus. So you will install antivirus in your test environment and you will see if the functionality is getting impacted by it. Then the second
Yeah,
thing is maybe you can check in the production environment what browsers is being used and the versions of those browsers. And similarly, you can try to simulate in the test environment, right?
yeah,
Then you can
yeah,
also try to get the steps to reproduce or some particular test data with which they are particularly using it. And you can create that kind of test data and you can reproduce in the test environment. You can try,
yeah,
yeah, you can check with the client if they are trying to work with some particular users and it is not working. And then
yeah,
you are trying to simulate with that user. Maybe with the system admin you had tested earlier, with the normal admin, non-admin user, it has been found. So you will try to reproduce in the test environment, right? So
yeah.
this is how you will do. Okay. Hmm. Okay, what is agile?
Agile is the latest model in the software development, and it called as the improvement over traditional model. And here we develop any software in the incremental and iterative manner.
Hmm,
And in the incremental and iterative, in the sense that that sprint by sprint, will develop the complete application or software.
hmm,
So
hmm,
and here again we have different scrum meetings, daily stand-up meeting, sprint review meeting, sprint planning meeting, etc. And so, like one of the advantage of this agile methodology is that it's a very quick. We can develop a much efficient. Our entire work will be much efficient, and it will reduce the whatever the time is taking. So that is the main advantage of agile methodology. And
hmm,
also this list documentation agile methodology.
yeah, right. So you will have documentation and you will have quick feedback also from the
Yeah,
customer side, right? Okay,
yeah.
fine. So now let's move to, okay. Okay, now is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Hmm? So let's say if
Yeah,
you have to test this particular contact us page,
yeah. Okay,
yeah.
contact.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So how much time would you take to test this page?
So only contact there's other component or module like men, women, kids. All those not required to test. It only this help center. You're saying?
Yeah, yeah. So this contact us page has all these things, right? You
Yeah.
want to reach us at old style, so that is postal address, frequently asked questions, right? Order related queries,
Yeah.
non-order related issues, recent issues. Then you can track, cancel, return, exchange. You can also log in from here, right? So
Hmm.
how much time would you need to test this particular page? All the links, all the functionality in this page, end-to-end testing.
Uh, one day required, sir.
1 day. Okay. So which are the different
Yeah.
testing activities that you would carry out?
Uh, Beginning from the smoke testing also we can do that do here, and also function testing, uh, functional testing we can do that,
Mm-hmm.
and regression testing we can do that, and system testing also we can do here.
Mm-hmm.
Also like various performance testing we can do it, and also integration testing also we can do here.
Right, right. So those are types of testing.
Yeah.
Mm. So different testing activities means writing test cases, getting those test cases reviewed, updating test cases as per the feedback, then finding defects, then getting those defects fixed, coordinating with the development team to get those defects fixed, then
Mm.
performing retesting because once the defects are fixed, then you will perform retesting, regression
Retesting.
testing,
Yeah.
right? Then uh, uh, creating test data before testing and generating test results, updating test cases with pass fail status, right? All these activities would come up. So in a real time, such things might take up 3 to 5 days, right?
Okay.
Because a lot of activities are there.
Yeah.
Right? So accordingly, you can answer. Okay. So what are your roles and responsibilities in your current company?
Like currently I'm involved in the writing the test cases, and also review the test cases of my fellow teammates. And I also participate in the various meetings like daily stand-up meeting and sprint review meeting. These kind of meetings I also involved. Also like defect, some of the defect tracking, etc. I also like involved, and also like involved in the preparing the traceability matrix.
Mhm. Okay, okay. So what is traceability metrics?
That is like all the requirement has to be covered by at least one test cases. So this we ensure this through the traceability matrix.
Hmm.
So we like it's basically ensuring that we have a better test coverage ratio. So this is what we do with this.
Right, right. So all the requirements are being mapped to the test cases, right? That's how
Yeah,
you will test them, right? You want to ensure that none of the requirement is being left out for
yeah,
testing. Hence, RDM is necessary.
yes.
Okay, great. Okay, can you give me an example of a defect with high severity and low priority?
High severity and low priority.
Low priority.
Maybe like
You can take your time to think. No worries.
like for example in any company, if you have produced any like a document which
Mm-hmm.
we have to meet then some regulatory requirement uh,
Mm-hmm.
for the regulatory purpose, those kind of reports are very much required, but from the perspective of company, that is not required. Like nobody is going through those document, so
Mm-hmm.
it will have a high severity, but priority for the company will be less. severity will be high because if we don't have those kind of report, it will have regulatory issues. So that can be, we can give one example for
Mm-hmm.
high severity and low priority.
Right, right. Okay,
And
yeah.
also,
What else? What else? Yeah, yeah.
for example, we can give also give the example of help module. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
our yeah, like privacy policy. So if there is any issue in that module, there is it's not, again, it's not matching the regulatory policy of the government, and it's this because of wrong mentioning, or wrong typing issue or something else, it's not meeting the regulatory requirement. So
Mm-hmm.
in that cases, severity will be high, but in any way it's not affecting the customer business flow of the company. So priority will be low for the company.
Mm-hmm.
So business will run as usual, but it will be affecting the government regulatory requirement. So
Right, right, right. Okay, okay, great. Yeah. Thank you, Rakshit. It was nice
yeah,
talking to you, right? Do you have any questions for me?
you can give the feedback, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think from the feedback side, hmm. So you can see these kind of scenario-based questions will come to you, right?
Yeah,
So you need to be more confident when you're answering and try to cover more and more scenarios, right? Okay, let's say production bug is found, you need to reproduce and test. So what are the different action items that you will take? So those things you can tell. In such kind of questions, you can ask about more on the requirements, right?
yeah,
Okay. Then yeah, this would require some kind of a development help, so collaborative kind of thing. So overall communication, presentation wise, it's fine, right? But
yeah,
maybe you can add some more points to your answers, right? How can you
yeah,
collaborate with the larger group to ensure that your task is being done in the right direction, in a correct
yeah,
manner, right? Those things are important, right? Agile, you can revisit what is agile, what are the different agile ceremonies,
yeah.
right? Those things are
And
fine. Yeah,
also question related to how much the time is required to test any
yeah, yeah. So
like a
those
contact.
things you have to explain in detail, right? Something,
Yeah,
anything, if it is just a clicking on a button, it can be done in, let's say, hourly basis, maybe
yeah,
30 minutes, hour, 2 hours, but you have to explain them for the other functionalities. Why are you taking time? Because
yeah.
you would
Data
need
and
time. Hmm,
mm,
yeah,
like there are various functions actually. I focused on the like
yeah,
contact
got
module only.
right, right. No worries, no worries. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Rakshit.
yeah.